Okay, hello everyone. My name is Anna or Anna. If you speak in English, I think we'll go with Anna here because it sounds more natural and it's easier to say when you are speaking in English. Welcome to my channel. This is Knits from Nowhere. This is my knitting podcast and this is my first episode in English. So welcome. I have been making these videos for 7 years now in Finnish. I've made over 50 episodes, but never in English, and now it's time to start these videos in English as well. And in this episode, this is gonna be a short one. I'm gonna tell a little bit about myself and what I'm doing, and yeah, we will get to know each other. And if you are watching this, I'd love to know where you are from and how did you find here, and maybe tell a little bit about yourself. I actually was planning to buy a microphone. I'm filming with my phone. My way to do these videos is that I take my phone, grab my phone, I just open the camera and then I just start talking. No editing, no microphones, nothing. Now I'm outside and it's a bit windy, so I hope you can hear me well, and I hope that you will not hear that wind because it can be very noisy and disturbing. But my kids are on summer holiday, so I just couldn't be inside. It's a bit loud there. I'm living in Finnish countryside with my husband and 4 children. They are not that small anymore. The youngest one is 7, but they can be very loud. So I'm here outside and we are living in a small town called Hämeenkyrö. It's near to Tampere, if you know Tampere. Tampere is one of the biggest cities in Finland. So we are living in Hämeenkyrö, and in Hämeenkyrö we are living in a very small village called Jumesniemi. There is about, what would I say, around 300 people living in here, and nothing else really. Just some people living in the middle of nowhere. And we have a nice little house in here. It's not that one, that is our neighbor, but we have very similar. And yeah, we've been living here for a bit over 10 years now. I'm not originally from here. I'm from Pohjanmaa, which is a bit more up to north, but I've been living here in south from that perspective in south for many years now, and with my family here in Hämeenkyrö for 11 years now. And this is a beautiful place. I love it. This is amazing. The nature is lovely and it's very peaceful, and I like this peace because I like to do my little knitting stuff and other crafts and just be and hang out in this peace. And I know Finland in general is very peaceful place for every people. I know that if you come from some other countries and you come to our capital Helsinki, everybody thinks that it's very quiet and peaceful and there is nobody really around there. But for me, that's very loud and busy city. And here where I am living, this is nice. What I do for a living? Well, I'm a knitter, so I knit a lot, and this channel is about knitting. And I learned to knit when I was 6. In Finland we learned that also at school, but I learned before school. My grandmother taught me how to, because I was very interested. I loved yarn when I was little, and I loved knitting, and I found it very interesting from a small from a young age. And then I learned how to knit, and now I've been knitting for over 30 years. And here in Jumesniemi I run a small yarn shop. It's called Kässäpuoti, and it sells Finnish wool yarns. We have some big yarn brands here in Finland, like Novita. It's the biggest one, and you can go, like through any supermarket or corner shop or whatever, and you will find Novita yarns from there, because everybody in Finland at least knows how to knit. We are not all knitters, but it's very common in Finland to know how to knit, and maybe knit sometimes something, so it's not considered maybe as a hobby like in some countries. It's more like a lifestyle that it's like it's a similar skill to, like I think everybody should know how to bake a pie. It's a basic skill. You don't need to be a that much into baking, but I think we all know how to make a pie. And in that way we all know in Finland how to knit something, and at least some stitches. And at school we are taught how to knit. My 3 oldest kids, they know how to knit. They hate it so much, but I think it's a good skill to know when you are older and you wanna knit something, you know how to do it. But I myself, I love it so much. And in Finland, as I said, we can buy yarn from everywhere, so you can knit whenever you want. And the big brands, they have factories in Finland, but they don't use Finnish wool. So the wool comes from somewhere else, because in Finland we have so small sheep farms that it's not possible to use that, because you need to produce it in a bigger scale to use it to that big production. So where Finnish wool goes, it goes to the smaller brands. They are not that well known, and we have some big brands here that use Finnish wool, but most of the brands are very small. And what I do with Kässäpuoti, I sell these smaller brands, and I sell yarn that is from Finnish wool. It's very unique because we have 3 own sheep breeds, Finnish sheep breeds, and most or the biggest of them is Finn sheep. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think maybe 80% of all the sheep in Finland are Finn sheep, and it's known for its soft wool. It has very soft wool, and it is lovely. It's I don't know the word, but how would I say it? Well, it's very old and original sheep breed, so it's very lovely. So Kässäpuoti is selling these yarns that are from Finnish wool, and maybe one of the biggest ones is Tukku wool. You may know it because it's also quite well known all over the world as well. So yeah, we have this, but we have also some smaller brands, and we have also some yarns straight from the farms. For example, this cardigan is made from farm yarn, our local here from Jumesniemi. They are not sheep farm, they have actually cows, but they had some sheep a few years ago. I think now they have only 3 left or something, but they made some yarn, and this is the local yarn. This is Finn sheep, and I had this in my shop. I don't have this anymore. It was very small amount, but I think this is very lovely and unique because you can't get this anymore. It was the only time when you could get this to your needles, because they don't have the sheep anymore. So I'm selling Finnish wool, I'm selling small brands, I'm selling farm yarns, mostly online, because as I said, I'm living in the middle of nowhere. But I also have my shop open every Thursday, so people really, they do come here because of the yarn. And if you are around here, maybe in Finland, welcome to Kässäpuoti on some Thursday. Our web shop is not open to other countries. I don't know if I said it already, so we ship only to Finland. So what I'm gonna talk most about in these videos now is about my knitting patterns, because I also make these patterns. These are for Finnish wool, but of course you can use any wool you want. And these are all available in Ravelry, but they are not all in English. I'm very slow when it comes to translating, so I have published all of them in Finnish, and some of them I have translated to English. But I'm gonna show some of these. These are all translated to English, so you can find these from Ravelry. And to celebrate this first episode, I have also a little sale running. I actually haven't created it yet, so I don't know the code. I'll put it below the video. So with that code, you can find it under this video. You will get, when you buy one pattern from my Ravelry shop, you will get one for free. And you can of course buy any of them, but I will show now what you can find in English. I didn't take all of them. I have only some pieces, so I have more patterns translated to English, but I'll show some of these now. So this one, maybe the most popular, why did I say it like that? Of these is this one. This is quite dark. I don't know why I picked this color, because it's not easy to show it to you, but this is Kuusisto mitten. It has this nice lace panel here, and it's made with DK weight yarn. This is Finnish yarn called Kierrätystilta. It's recycled wool and new Finnish wool. I will show you. Actually, now I know why I did pick this color, because, well, this is called Kuusisto mitten, and Kuusisto is also the name of this colorway. So I think it was fun. Kuusisto is a place name in Finland, but also this our property where we are living, it's also called Kuusisto. So that's why I picked this name. And kuusi word, it means pine tree. So as you can see, here's a pine tree in this mitten. So I have used this yarn. This is kierrätystilta, recycled tilta, and it has 230 meters in 100 grams. Finnish wool and recycled wool, and very thick and warm, good for example sweaters and cardigans, winter sweaters, but also in mittens. And this fits very well. I think this panel, lace panel here, it makes it more fitting, so it has a nice fit, and it has this, what this is called, this thumb thing when you increase here, I don't remember, but this kind of thumb. And this is maybe, I would say this is the most sold of all my patterns that I have made. This is also an old one. I think I have designed this 2020, so it's also an old one, but it's still very popular. And this year I made another version of it. This is the same, but this is for fingering weight, and this is made of tuku wool fingering. So this is basically the same one, but just for different yarn weight. This color is peony pink. It's lovely, I love it. I have some other colors here because they have new colors in tuku wool. This is mint, this is aalto, and this is caramel. I love these. So there is good colors to use to tease, and you will need one skein for a pair of mittens. Also in this one, if you have one skein of DK weight yarn, it will be enough, 100 gram skein. Then I have here, this is also an old one, this is very old, and I designed this maybe 221, I don't remember. This is Vuokko beanie. This is also available in English. It's made from this Vuonue Onneli. This is Aran weight, and it's I think this is like Finnish version of Icelandic letlopi yarn. If you know lopi yarns, so letlopi is very similar to this. Only difference is that this onneli is much more softer, so it's good for beanies. But if you are looking for something similar than this for this beanie, then check letlopi out. If you know it, you know what to look for. Maybe letlopi isn't the best option because it's not that soft, but something similar. This is also made out of 100 grams, and this is actually not my best piece because this is quite big. I don't know why I did knit this like this. I don't know, this is very loose. It's not supposed to be this big, but I don't know. Maybe I was in a good mood, so I was just knitting very loosely. I'm usually very tight knitter, so this was weird, but it's nice. I have this in my shop, so I can show my customers what they can knit with my yarns, and it's pretty, but not very usable because it's huge. But this is also available in English on Ravelry. Then I have 2 new patterns because now when I publish new ones, I try to translate them right away. So this one is a Vuokko sweater, and it has the same lace than in the Vuokko beanie, but I must correct myself. This is Pikku-Vuokko because I have 2 Vuokko beanies. Vuokko is from thicker yarn for Vuonue Onneli, that is I think Alafoslopi from Eastex. It's closest to that Unelma, and that's Vuokkopipo. It's made of that Unelma, and this is Pikku-Vuokko. So this is translated to English, and I think Vuokkopipo is not. Sorry about that. But here we have Vuokko sweater. So this has that same lace than in Pikku-Vuokko beanie. Pikku-Vuokko means little Vuokko, by the way. And it has this lace yoke, and these leaves are little. How do you call this? You know, you can see. It's a bit cropped. There is some yarn ends coming out, and yeah, it's made with fingering weight yarn. Very similar. It's not. This is not the wool fingering, but it's very similar to it. This yarn is called Kehrätärlieko. It's also a Finnish, small Finnish wool brand. And then I have silk mohair, Tukuwool silk mohair with it. So I have 2 strands of yarn here, fingering weight wool yarn and silk mohair. And yeah, this is one of the newest ones. This was published on 1st of June, and yeah, I hope you like it. This is also on Ravelry in English. And then the last one is here. This was published about 2 weeks ago, and this is called Kuusisto hame or Kuusisto skirt in English. So this is a skirt, lace skirt, and as you can see, I use a lot this same lace. I think it's beautiful, and it's easy to use. It's easy to variate it to many different knits. I have an elastic here, so this waist is you know, you can put an elastic here, and I haven't sewn it because I have to replace it with another one. This is not good, so I have just tied it here. It's not very pretty, but we will not mind about it. So this is made of Wilhelmi worsted yarn, Wilhelmi kampalanka in Finnish. It looks like this. The brand is Vuonue, and this is Finnish wool, 70% of Finnish wool and 30% tencel, which makes this a bit shiny, this yarn. And if you want to knit this skirt, I think any fingering weight merino sock yarn will be good for this. So this is very similar. This Wilhelmi comb yarn, not comb yarn, worsted yarn. The straight translation to kampalanka would be comb yarn. So I very often accidentally used that, but worsted yarn. I have used 4 skeins, so 400 grams, and this is fingering weight. This is size 3, which is about M size, and this is for myself. And this is lovely summer knit, and also I think it's nice to knit this lace because it's not difficult. You can memorize it well, but or memorize it very easily, but it gets wider and wider, so it changes a little bit, so it's also interesting to knit. And I actually have this one in here. I started this a few days ago, and this is also Kuusisto skirt, but this one is for kids. So this is for my daughter. She's 7, and I'm gonna make a kids pattern as well. So now what I'm gonna do, I've already written the pattern because it's quite easy to write it after adults version. You just have to calculate a lot, and now I have to knit this piece for the pattern, and I hope my daughter will model for me. She hates modeling, but I will pay her or give her some candy. This is lovely. This will be so cute. She hates skirts, so I don't think she's gonna ever use this, but this is gonna be very cute. This I will take this to shop so everybody can admire it. So this is cute. And I will very quickly show you one more. This is unpublished, and when I publish this will come out in Finnish and English. This is called Mustikka. Mustikka is in English bilberry, which is wild blueberry. I love bilberries. And it's this little, I don't know if there's a name for this little scarf. I don't know if this is scarf, but you know what this is. You put this in the head and tie it behind your neck, and it's like this. This is all lace, and these are like bilberry leaves. We have a big forest next to us, and in Finland you can go to any forest and pick wild berries as much as you want, and I love to pick bilberries. I can go to the forest for a whole day and pick them, and it's also legal to sell them. And actually, if you sell wild berries that you have picked, it's also tax-free. So you can pick and sell them tax-free as much as you want. Of course, if you have a real berry company, you can do that. Then you have to pay taxes. But if you are just an individual going to the forest and picking blueberries, you can just pick them as much as you want, as long as you don't go to someone's backyard or something. And one summer I picked them so much that and I sold them that I could buy a car. It wasn't that expensive, but I was still proud of myself because I need a car because there is nothing in here. You need a car to get away from here. But we already had a car, a better car, but my husband uses it when he goes to work. So when he is at work, I don't have a car. So I wanted to buy one, but I didn't want to put that much money in it. So I picked the berries and bought a cheap car, and I don't have it anymore. It broke, but I think it was still, I was still proud of myself because it was hard work, and it was not everybody picks berries in Finland, so I was proud because I did so well. But this is Mustikka. This is coming in few weeks, in the beginning of July. And yeah, this is cute. This is very nice to and fun to knit. You start from here and then you increase here and knit the lace at the same time, and then you start this I-cord and you knit it to here. And yeah, I love this. I love the color. This is actually yarn called Vuona. I have it here, not the same colorway, but I will show it to you. This is also Finnish wool, and it says that Suomen alkuperäisrotujen villa, which means that this is from our original breeds only, because very often, even if most of the sheep in Finland they are Finn sheep, there is also other breeds, and when they spin the yarn, they very often mix Finn sheep wool and other wool together. So for example, here in Tukku-wool, this is not all Finn sheep, there is other breeds in it as well, but this is only our original, from our original sheep breeds. This is very soft. This is single ply, fingering weight, and this is good for this kind of pieces that are light and soft. And you need only 150-gram skein to knit this. This is actually about, I would say 35 grams, so you don't need even the whole skein. So this is coming soon. But I've actually been talking for 30 minutes now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I think the next one will be better, but you must start one from you must start from somewhere. So if you never start, you'll never make any progress. So I hope you enjoyed this, and please comment below this video where you are from and who you are, because I'd love to get to know you. Now somebody's cutting the lawn. I think it's a good time to stop for today. So bye.